Okay, this is a quick explainer video I call Loop Out, or oh shit, I can't receive money on Lightning. So this is just to explain how Loop Out works and why it can indeed be done in a trustless manner, which is something that I struggled with a little bit until I'd drawn it out. So when I think about this, I like to split what's going on to 4 different quadrants. So what we're going to say is that everything above the line is on Lightning Network, everything below the line happens on Bitcoin, and anything to the left of the vertical line belongs to Alice, and everything to the right of the vertical line belongs to Bob. Okay, so let's set up our scenario here. So what we're going to say is that Alice and Bob both run Lightning nodes connected to their own Bitcoin nodes. Well done, Alice and Bob. You are good Bitcoin citizens. Okay, Alice has opened a channel to Bob. Now the problem with this channel in Alice's view is that all of the capacity is currently sat at her end. So there's 100,000 sats on Alice's end, and there's 0 incoming sats at Bob's end. We're going to guess that they say an average fee approximately 100 sats for use to the main chain. Now again, what we're going to say, right, so our opening totals across here are going to be, let's say that Alice doesn't actually have any money in her Bitcoin wallet, so she's got 0 sats here, whereas Bob actually has, let's say, another 100,000 sats in his Bitcoin wallet on chain. So Alice's totals currently 100,000 sats. Bob's total currently 100,000 sats. So the question is, how do we go about getting 50,000 of Alice's sats over to Bob, so she has some incoming capacity in a trustless manner? So let's get that. So step 1 clearly is that Alice is going to send 50,000 of her sats to Bob, which means that we've got 50,000 sats now available. Excellent. So that's step 1. Now the only problem with this is that our totals are now that Alice has got 50,000, and Bob has got 150,000 sats, which is great for Bob, but not so great for Alice. So in order to do this in a trustless manner, what we need is for Bob to now reciprocate and give some of that money back to Alice, and to make sure that that actually happens. So step 2 is logically going to be for Bob to take 50,000 of the sats from his Bitcoin wallet and send that over to Alice. Now what he's going to say is that, look, for me to do this for you, it's a little bit of a pain, so I'm going to charge you a couple of 100 sats just for the benefit of doing this, plus the fee for my on-chain transaction. So instead of actually sending 50,000 sats, let's call it 49,000 sats. So now at the end of stage 2, and Alice is happy with that agreement because she wanted the 50,000 sats from Bob's so that she could sell a whole bunch of things. She's going to get that money back anyway, profit. So she's saying, okay, well, at the end of step 2, I now have a total 99,000 sats. So it's cost me 1,000 sats, but I've now got my incoming capacity. And Bob has a total of 101, approximately 1,000 sats, minus fees. So Bob's better off, Alice has got what she wanted. We can kind of see how this works. So the money flows through Lightning to Bob. Bob reciprocates with an on-chain fee back to Alice. So we get the sort of balances that we're after. Now the bit that was always a little bit confusing for me was how you made that trustless. So the way I like to think about this is, instead of this money just being provided one way or the other, what actually happens is it kind of gets put in these little lock boxes in the middle. So let's say these are, you might have heard the term HTLC, or hash time lock contract. So this is a contract in which you can pay in money, and then the money can only be released by either providing a key or it reverts back to the originator if enough time goes by. So let's say in this box, we're going to put some light in. We're going to put, this is 50,000 Satoshis. Now in this box, we're going to put some on-chain Bitcoin. And this is going to be Bob's 49,000 on-chain Bitcoin. Now, what you find, this is going this way, and this one is going this way. Now these boxes, kind of think of these as a lock box, having two separate locks. So one is a time lock. So let's say for the originator Alice, she says, I'm going to give it a 5-hour time lock. And it can be open, so if in 5 hours Bob hasn't claimed this, I get my 50,000 Satoshis back. Alternatively, he could provide a secret. Think of it like a combination lock. So if Bob can provide the combination lock, he can actually get in this door and he can get that 50,000 Satoshis. Now, what happens on the alternate end here is that Bob can say, right, I need the secret now to get into this, to box number 1. Alice says, okay, I've got the secret, but I'm not going to give you the code until you give me box number 2. So Bob says, okay, well, I can play that game. And he creates a second double entry lock box and says, okay, well, I'm going to put a time lock on this one. And I'll call it 1 hour to make sure I actually get my money back in time. And I'm going to give this the same combination code. So whilst Bob doesn't know the combination, because of the way the secrets work in Lightning, in hash time lock contracts, he can add the same code to the second contract that was available on the first. So now Alice knows the code, she's got the secret. She can use that to unlock box number 2. And in doing so, she broadcasts the secret and shares that with Bob, who can now go and unlock box number 1. So Bob gets his 50,000. At the same time, Alice gets her 39,000 in a completely trustless manner. All that was required was for a little piece of software to just negotiate the terms of that swap so that everybody knew was happy before. Now where does that live? Well, in the same place that all the software lives. So let's say this is your Lightning node. That sits on a compute instance owned by Bob. Here's the same compute instance that the Bitcoin node sits on as well. And this could be Bob Serve. So all we need to do is add a little piece of software on here that just negotiates on behalf of Alice and Bob what the terms of that agreement were and sets up those two different contracts. So that's how I believe this system works. If I'm wrong, then please reach out and tell me, but I kind of liked that as a little explanation. If that's helpful, please let me know. Cheers.